So, this is my main PS5, my bread and butter, my little personal device. Then there's this. What the fuck's up with that? Well, I'll explain to you why. So, this console here, which is the one connected to the TV, it's banned. It is a hardware banned device. And what essentially means for something to be hardware banned is that if you try to connect to the PSN, it's just simply not going to work. Now, the thing is, I actually initially wanted to test this, which, by the way, I actually had to connect this to my phone's hotspot while having VPN on. And the reason why I did this is because I'm not 100% sure what is the extent of PlayStation's hardware ban, because I know they will ban your account, and also they will ban the actual piece of hardware right here. I don't know if they use like the serial number or the MAC address to ban hardware, but regardless. But what I don't know is whether or not they ban your IP address. And so I didn't really want to risk connecting this console to my actual Wi-Fi that has like my actual like ISP's assigned IP address. So I just decided not to really risk it. But regardless, I did do that. But the thing is, I actually can't test whether or not this console is banned. And the reason why I can't do that is because if I try to sign in here, it'll actually ask me to update the software. And that's actually something I don't want to do. I don't want to update this console's software because if I update the firmware of this console and then there's like a new exploit that's discovered like months or years from now that applies to the firmware that's installed here, which I think is 11.20, then that's a missed opportunity for me to jailbreak this console. And so for the time being, I'm just going to keep this console in the firmware that's currently in. It's possible there might be some games that won't be compatible with this firmware, but I don't think the number is going to be that high. Regardless, I can't test this, so yeah, I'm not really gonna bother. And yeah, after this, I'm just gonna completely fucking disable the fucking network because I don't want to risk any fucking IP bans. Because I don't know if they actually do that. But regardless, now the thing is, I'm sure you guys might have heard of like Nintendo's new. I don't know if it's actually new, but basically they wrote it in their terms of service that they basically have the right to completely break your console if they have reason to do it. Now the thing is, Nintendo breaking consoles is not a new thing. My Nintendo Switch, for example, if I don't enable Wi-Fi mode, it'll constantly crash the operating system, force me to reboot it, and then it'll crash again and force me to reboot it, and it becomes an endless loop. I have to completely disconnect that thing from any type of connection at all in order for that thing to stop doing it. And the reason why it's like that is because I hacked it, obviously. But regardless, this doesn't. Well, I don't know if it actually does that or not because I don't have the latest firmware. Regardless, something fun that I kind of wanted to do is test to see how functional this is. I mean, I already know how functional this actually is because I've used PlayStation consoles without connected to the internet, so I know what to expect. But you know how people like to say, your physical media is they're pointless. It's just a fucking serial code inside, and I'm just like, oh wait, there actually is a code here. It's not for the game. It's actually for a bunch of fucking points, and I don't know if I should share it. So you know what? I'm just gonna remove this because I don't want to share a code that I don't think I've actually redeemed it yet. But regardless, no, it has the disc here. This disc does not have any code. You do not. This is not just a serial code. There's actual game data in this disc. You have to install it. You can't run it off of the disc, but you can definitely install on the console. Which to me, that's all I give a fuck about. I don't really care if I can run on the disc or not. I think running games off of this is kind of fucking out. I think it's an outdated thing to do in today's day and age when you have SSDs like NVMe that runs in like really fast. Fucking have like really high bandwidth speeds, ones that Blu-rays I don't think will ever reach, at least not in recent years. So I don't really see the point of the whole argument. Oh, you can't run off of the disc. Why would you want that? But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna test this. The reason why I'm picking Dragon Ball FighterZ is because I think this game is only like 5 or 6 gigabytes, and I don't want to install like large files because I don't want to fucking sit here and wait for this thing to be installed. And this is not a cop-out move, but I am going to pause this because I don't want to just record video game installation. That would be very boring. And also, this phone is running out of space, so eventually I will have to I will have to manage this. Okay, there it is. What the fuck is this? I actually don't know what this is because I actually bought this from OLX, which is like a marketplace type place, and I bought it for like 170, and I think 170 is a pretty good deal for 170 euros for a fucking PS5. That's crazy. I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't really recommend this console for most people because I think, I don't know, a lot of people that especially people that I know in real life, actually 4 minutes. Okay, you know what? Fine, I'll wait 4 minutes. A lot of people that oh, and by the way, I hope I don't have to fucking explain to people that this is not connected to the internet. You literally saw me disconnected, so I don't want any fucking accusations that I'm faking anything. All right, that I'm secretly downloading anything. But regardless, I wouldn't particularly recommend people buy a console that's banned because a lot of people that I know in real life, they they have a lot of games in their PlayStation accounts. A lot of people play online. You're not going to be able to do either of those things if you have a huge library in your PlayStation account, if you're not someone that buys physical media, and also, if your PS5 is the digital edition, do not fucking buy a banned PS5. That thing is a brick. It serves no purpose. If you're going to buy a banned PS5, buy the one that has a fucking Blu-ray. If it doesn't have a Blu-ray, it is a literal brick. And that thing will serve absolutely no fucking purpose. You can't even use it as a media. Well, I guess you can use it as a media player, but like what? You're gonna fucking. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking put films in your USB. I don't know if this PS5 supports every single file formats and every single codec. So I don't know if it's even gonna support every single type of video. And what? That's all it's gonna be fucking worth? Honestly. A banned PS5 that's digital edition should cost probably 40 euros. I'm not even fucking joking because that thing is worthless. But anyway, the person that I bought this from, I don't think they fucking. I don't even know what this is. Like, I actually don't even fucking know what this is. Yeah, the person that bought this, they didn't fucking factory reset it. So, sure, I guess. Something's wrong. Okay, there it is. After 4 years of owning a PS5, I still don't know how to fucking use it. I'm a sucker. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck that is. Maybe it was just a notification that it was done installing, not necessarily that anything was actually installed, because even in the fucking... Yeah, there's no application here. So, you know what? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Let's just wait until the thing is done, and then I'm gonna test it a little bit. I'm also very curious, because the thing is, this is the PS5 version of Dragon Ball FighterZ, and the interesting thing about the PS5 version of Dragon Ball FighterZ is that it actually has a later firmware than the one that you buy for the PS4, which I think is really important, because fighting games, when it comes to physical media, they're a double-edged sword, because on one hand, I do think that there is value in buying physical copies of fighting games, because you will have a version of the game that's probably not going to be publicly available really anywhere. Like, you're playing a build of the game that's pretty much, like, not being supported by anyone, and so if there were certain... if there are certain, like, if there are certain patches that were done over the course of the game's run and you don't really agree with, or you just simply want to play a specific version of the game that you either liked it or you're just curious from a preservationist viewpoint, I think that there is value in having a physical copy that has like an older firmware. But at the same time, I will also say that, for example, in the case of Dragon Ball FighterZ, to me, I would say it was only around version 3. I think it's version 3. is the one that I'm the most familiar with. Actually, I think I would say even version 2, I think, is where the game's at a point where I'm more familiar with how the mechanics work. Because prior to that, let's just say there are certain aspects of the game that I don't think I'd be used to anymore. And so I'm a lot more familiar with the later versions of Dragon Ball FighterZ. And so the fact that the version that I own is one that's like not one that I'm even used to, it's a little bit weird. And then there's also, you know, the fact that fighting games, they get supported over time. And, you know, if you're someone that grew accustomed to certain characters that are DLC only, you're not going to have access to those. And to be fair, this is still a problem here, because if I actually go to... Jesus fucking Christ, I don't care. Okay, fine. Yes, please. Shut the fuck up. So anyway, if I go to... here, if I go to practice mode... yeah, sure, let's go here. The fun thing is, it is technically a more up-to-date roster, but obviously there are certain characters that are missing. Like, base Goku, not having him is a problem. Gogeta not having him is a problem. Android 17 not having him is a problem. Videl, UI Goku, Vegito, all of these fucking... base Vegeta, fucking Lord Zamasu, Kefla. These are all characters that are important to me, and I don't have fucking access to them. So that's a problem. That's definitely a problem. And I don't know. I guess it's just, you know, it is something that you definitely have to consider. Like, me personally, I still think the purchase is worth it because I still have a playable version of the game. Like, right now, I can fucking... I'm actually running out of fucking space on my phone, so I'm probably gonna have to cut the recording here in a few minutes. But I still want to show you guys just, you know, the fact that, you know, regardless of everything that I just stated, this game is playable. You don't need any update, you don't need any connection to the internet, just a simple disc alone, you can play the game. And to me, that's really important. And it's why it's also important to me that you don't have live service games that completely shut down and you can't fucking play them anymore because they have to connect to their goddamn servers. And that's why I care so much about the fucking Stop Killing Game campaign. Yeah, I had to plug that in. Make sure to fucking sign the EU initiative and also the UK petition. I'm gonna pretty much spread this word until those things close. And yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to say. Auto combo time. Anyway, my storage is running out. Bye-bye.